I was going to ask you, when you would play the Alpin, was there a move by black that you feared that perhaps Alireza could try?
Pawn to d6 is the best move, but in terms of winning with black, I'm not so sure. Equalize.
Check my boy heart rate, bro. You know he going up against the GOAT, one of the GOATs. He was just at a buck 18.
Is normally the goal in chess with black, but not enough this time. b6, he just wants to fianchetto his bishop. Magnus might be forced to attack if Firouzja doesn't play in the center. Magnus is going to go on the front foot.
And for white, one of the very key ideas is to go d4 in these positions. To c4, try attacking the knight as well. But Magnus, he takes a surprise.
So, Magnus Carlsen down on the clock. Okay, not by much, but it's so rare in this grand final. We might as well mention it when it happens. Alireza Firouzja, though, not looking just for an equal position. We need to win, remember. Pawn takes pawn in the center of the board. Firouzja looking like he wants to hopefully start building a little bit of clock advantage. Recaptures with the knight. And finally, Firouzja goes down to below 9 minutes. Still very early on in this game.
Still just move 6, and both players definitely freestyling. Neither side has studied this one before, we can guarantee that. Knight takes pawn on d4. Normally you want a queen there, but Magnus senses the white knight will be very active.
See, one thing I gotta learn about, well, I watched Magnus play blitz games. Like I reacted, if y'all go check out my channel, I reacted to one of his videos where he's playing a 3-minute blitz game. And it's just like, I couldn't even understand what he was talking about, what was going on. Well, this is for the World Championship. So I can't compare that to him just playing somebody and educating them. This is for the eSports World Cup Championship. So he's taking his time, and I need to take a page out of his book for games like this, because you can see, look at his heart rate. They show the heart rate is crazy. He's been under 90, 87%. Homeboy heart rate went up to a buck, almost a $120. He was at 118.
The white queen could jump out early in the scenario, and Firouzja needs to just trust himself, make moves at this point. The bishop comes out. He's handled this opening, I've got to say, Alireza. I think he'll get it some chances. Meanwhile, and the game goes on.
It does go on, and this rivalry goes on. You know, I'm thinking right now of back in 2021 when Magnus Carlsen shocked the world, moved away from the World Championship crown, walked away from it, but said that he would be willing to fight if it was Alireza Firouzja who would challenge him, who would go on to win and then challenge him. That make Magnus interested in getting back to the World Championship. That's the kind of respect he had. That's the kind of challenge he wanted to relish against the prince, Alireza Firouzja. And we never got that classical World Championship match, but we're getting the matchup here at the biggest global esports stage, at the esports arena, the king versus the prince. But so far, it's been a Magnus Carlsen show.
Do you think maybe that that actually plays on Firouzja's mind as well, knowing that Carlsen has said that about you? It's very difficult not to let that affect you psychologically, going, oh, this is the match that he said he'd be happy to play. I really need to not disappoint. I need to go in with a bang. I need to really prove myself. And so far, we've seen flashes of that brilliance that does enable him to meet with Carlsen at the highest level. That said, he hasn't been able to consistently show that throughout this grand final, at least not.
Prince versus the king. Man, I'm thinking back on my chess days when I was a chess champion, and if I would have kept going, who knows, man. But this is amazing to watch.
So far.
Now, there's two ways you can take compliments from the world's best ever player. You can say, oh, thank you, I'm going to prove you right. Or you feel the pressure, you feel the expectation. And I mean, instinct-wise, we've seen it so many times. Firouzja digs himself out of trouble on the clock. That's because his instincts are just fantastic. And there we see Team Liquid and the fans looking happy right now. But yeah, Firouzja just hasn't been trusting himself. He needs to go for it now. Pawn to h4, not liked by the computer, I should mention. Magnus Carlsen wants to win this one in style. He's trying to punish black for not finishing development, not castling yet. But the white e-pawn, a bit weak. I'm liking Firouzja's chances here if he can strike somehow in the center.
This move just makes me feel like Magnus wants to have fun in this game. There's absolutely no reason for him to go for this. You play the Alipin, it signals that you want to keep things under control. Then you push the H-pawn voluntarily instead of continuing with getting development and getting your king to safety. Magnus Carlsen is in for a fight, but that is exactly what might give Firouzja his chance.
Yeah, and remember Magnus, when he was close to knocking down Hikaru in the final game of their match, at least the final of the sixth yesterday, he got nervous. He did blunder.
Yep.
It is possible. He's human. So Firouzja cannot kind of give up hope at any point yet.
Very easy to forget sometimes.
Shout out
that,
to Firouzja.
our champions, our heroes, the GOATs are human as well. And, at some point, the torch will pass from Magnus.
Everybody's human. Everybody blunders. Even Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen to the younger generation. He's here to say, yes, it will happen, just not today.
If Alireza wins this game and makes the comeback into the match to force an Armageddon, that would be a huge momentum shift. I'd go on to say that he'd be a favorite in that Armageddon,